All right, Coach, do you want to just open up with general thoughts? Great performance against one of the best teams in the country this weekend. Didn't come on the right end, but just talk about your team's performance.
Yeah, it was a very pleasing performance, but like you just referenced, we didn't come out of the game with anything, which was a real shame because I thought the lads prepared themselves really well all week, implemented everything that we'd worked on all week, and we frustrated a team that sits number 3 in the RPI right now. So really pleased overall, but at the same time, we're understanding that we sit on no points.
Tough result, but the execution you pointed out after the game, the guys did exactly what you wanted them to do. Talk a little bit about what you asked of them and how they kind of performed.
Well, we knew with Akron being one of the top 5 teams in the country that they were going to have the majority of the ball for the game, and the first thing that we had to do was accept that and understand that leading into the preparation for the week. And we set out defensively with what we wanted to achieve, and from an attacking standpoint, looked to counter with pace, and that's what got us the first goal. And we were a little bit unfortunate, I think, not to come away with something.
Marcus, tough loss, obviously, but as a captain, what do you have to do kind of to regroup the troops and tell them, it's not over, it's still a long season ahead of you? Like, what did you have to say after that game?
No, I just told the guys that we had a good performance, like Coach said. We battled for 90 minutes, and it was unlucky not to get a result, but just keep that going forward in our next MAC games. If we can perform like that against Akron, number 5 team in the country, we could do it against anyone.
What kind of goods what good thing did you take out of that game against Akron on Friday?
I think the biggest thing was that week of training that we had leading up to Akron. Everyone was just so focused and ready to go. The way we listened to Coach's game plan, everything like that, and the way it executed on the field just basically gives you confidence when the next week when you go into training, if you just listen to what's being said and you execute, we can get those results. And instead of coming away with 0 points, come away with 3 points, and then it's on to the next week and the next week.
Braden, what did you think that game kind of did for your confidence, especially defensively? It looked great out there. You held one of the most powerful teams in the country down a little bit. What do you feel like that does for your confidence moving forward?
I really think it was kind of the first game that I think we had a total defensive performance, not just from the back 4, but from the all 11 on the field. Having all 11 guys behind the ball for a lot of the majority of the game was definitely tough, but we had a high energy the whole game. There was really no times where Akron had so much of the ball. It didn't really get to lull us to sleep at all, and we really stayed strong for the whole 90 minutes except for some set pieces.
Even though the score sheet might not say it, it seemed like offensively you guys had a couple good chances throughout the game. It wasn't just sitting back and playing defense. What good things did you think that you saw offensively out there that you guys did?
I think when we broke at 110%. So, I mean, if going forward, we can do that. We're giving numbers forward up the field. We'll definitely have some success. I thought a few times we were actually a bit unlucky, and we could have had a few more chances.
Coach, do you think the defense is finally kind of coming together and solidifying for you back there?
They definitely are. I think we spoke a couple of weeks ago about making ourselves harder to beat and harder to be scored against, and I think the massive plus we can take, although it's still a disappointment, is that we restricted one of the best teams in the country to scoring from a corner and from a penalty kick. And they didn't really have any clear-cut chances in the run of play, and that was down to the way we defended. So, yeah, extremely pleasing.
In goal, Joseph Kuda had a big game, 7 saves. He had a huge PK save in the first half. Talk about how he's kind of growing into that role of your starting goalie.
Yeah, he did a really good job against Akron, but it's week by week. We've got 2 excellent goalies that can both play at a very high level, and Joseph got the nod for the first conference game, and he did exceptionally well on Saturday nights, but it's really up to him now to make sure he keeps that place.
Marcus, what are some of the keys as you face another tough team, another tough conference opponent in West Virginia on Friday?
Yeah, it's just keeping what we know, what we can do, don't do anything we can't do, and just being smart, possession on the ball, defending, everything, all the little things. And once you do the little things, the big picture will come and get 3 points on Friday.
Braden, it's a kind of a big doubleheader night on Friday night. How important is it to get that crowd out there and get the excitement up for a good West Virginia team?
I mean, it's really important having the support of the crowd and all our fans, family. A lot of our family comes down for the game. It's really important to perform for them. They want to see us do well, and we take that energy onto the field every night.
Coach, it seemed like after the game you kind of let your leaders take over and talk to the team and figure it out kind of on their own. I'm sure you talked to them after, but what do you see from the leadership of these 2 guys, especially, and others on the team so far this season?
Yeah, the leadership's been fantastic. Even guys that don't wear the captain's armband are really stepping into that mold because the reality of it is that they've played 40 to 50 games now together. So we're seeing some guys really step forth. But what we've really stressed from day one all along is that we've got to have a team of leaders. Every one of them, whether they're a freshman or a senior, they've got to lead in their own different way, and we're starting to see that from everyone, which is great.
Marcus, is this game are you guys going to kind of take it as playoff mentality? Like this is a playoff game basically for you guys?
Oh, definitely. Going to the max, you don't want to go 0-2. It's just you have to win these games. Every game counts, and yeah, we're going to be fighting. We're going to be battling. We're coming out with 3 points, and we want to come out with 3 points. That's what we're going to do. That's our goal.
Braden, what have you guys worked on this week to kind of get those 3 points this weekend?
Really, I mean, nice thing about MAC play is we have a full week to regroup, to refresh, to re-energize, recover from the week before, and nice and slow in the beginning of the week. And now the past 2 days, really ramping it up, working on the system we're going to play on Friday night and putting it into practice like we did last week.
How big is this kind of game being at home? You know, it's a kind of a must-win for you. How big is that being here? And I mean, you had a great performance last weekend, didn't come out on the right end, but kind of being at that on the home field advantage, kind of.
It definitely helps. I think the lads really love playing under the lights at home, and I think teams don't necessarily like coming to play us here in Buffalo in our big facility. So we've got to take full advantage of that. But it's week by week, and every week remaining is a cup final, and we've got to make sure we come out on top on Friday night.
Good. Awesome, guys.
All right.
Thank you.